So, look, I want to start, David, by picking your brains on an issue that's running through my mind, and I can't work out whether what's happening is welcome, preposterous, irrelevant, perhaps all three of those. And that's
That
about,
sounds like a coded reference to modern politics.
well, yes, pretty much.
The theatre of the absurd, yes.
Yeah, but it's about, I think this is a bit the theatre of the absurd. It's about flags. So I've just heard that over the past few days, 50,000 flags, I think a mixture of Union flags and St George's crosses, have been bought for display around the country.
Does this contribute to inflation?
Potentially, I think,
Remember, the index has gone up.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Although I would hope that flag production supply lines are pretty flexible. What do we make of this? I mean, is this a good outburst of patriotism to see the likes of Robert Jenrick scaling lampposts in Newark to attach a Union Jack?
Who would have thought it? Yes. Who would have? Literally an upwardly mobile Conservative MP. Yes. Newly slimmed by Ozempic. Yeah.
Or is this, sort of sectarian in some way? Do you think we're going to start to see the streets of the mainland beginning to resemble what we have in Northern Ireland, where you'll be able to tell which sort of sectarian part you're in by the murals and the flags that are flying? What are we to make of it? I'm genuinely conflicted. I don't know whether it's welcome, preposterous.
I think it's all the things that you've said it is. That's exactly what it is. I mean, first of all, let us actually confront the truth. It is exactly like Northern Ireland. I was in Northern Ireland for the first time in 3 decades a few months ago. We went down Shankill Road, and it's not simply that you have the Irish tricolour on one side and you have the Union Jack, not the flag of St George, but the Union Jack on the other. It is, would you believe it, in the IRA influenced or Sinn Féin influenced areas. It's the Palestinian flag. And the Ulster Protestants have acquired a fascinating interest in Israel. So you will see the Israel. So even the foreign conflicts articulated. So in one sense, one short answer is this is the consequence of sectarianism. The disastrous policies of multiculturalism, which have endorsed separate communities, separate cultures, particularly the separate cultures of Islam. The fact, I mean, just to give you a simple illustration, one of the areas where it's been most conflicted is Birmingham. Where, and again, we had this in the civil wars of the 17th century. In the civil wars of the 17th century, the area of contention was church organs, because Puritans didn't hate music, but they hated church music. So whenever the Laudians are winning, you put an organ in, and whenever the Puritans are winning, you take this organ that you've installed at vast cost and smash it up. Organ builders did fantastically well in the 17th century, in the same way, presumably, flag merchants are doing fantastically well, because in Birmingham, no sooner do St George's crosses go up than they're pulled down by the council to fly the flag of Pakistan. And the mayor of Birmingham, for Pakistan Independence Day, formally presses a button. The flag of Pakistan rises on a gigantic flagpole outside the city library, that building, denounced by Prince Charles correctly. And Prince Charles on architecture is pretty different from Prince Charles on everything else, as a place where you would burn books rather than read books. And the place where you burn books was illuminated in the colours of Pakistan. So what we're seeing is simply a nativist reaction to this process. And also, of course, those communities were the ones that were in such formidable display in the response to the Southport riots. When you will remember, again, in Birmingham Ladywood, we have the extraordinary spectacle of a Muslim police officer addressing a Muslim crowd, masked in black and bearing weapons, and telling them, don't want a problem, do we? Put your weapons in the mosque and we won't notice them. So unfortunately, what has happened is 1,200 years of English history have been thrown onto a bonfire in the last 30 years. That's what's happened. Why didn't we used to see flags? Why did we always say, oh, those funny Americans flying a flag in their yards? We don't do that kind of thing. We didn't do it because we didn't need to.
Yeah.
We had a confident, unassertive sense of who we were, which was not questioned. The whole, on the one hand, the whole multiculturalism, yes, but much more fundamentally was the determination of the Blair government, which actually really means the Brown government, the ideologue behind the extraordinary changes of the 1990s onwards is Gordon Brown. That determination to reinvent this immensely subtle multinational culture of the United Kingdom, where the fundamental sense of loyalty wasn't to a nation. We were all separate nations. We were English, we were Scottish, we were Irish, we were Welsh, but to the crown, to this supra-personal, supranational entity. All of that was deliberately attacked. And what you do is you try to invent a British nation, and you try to invent membership of that nation, not by ancestry, not by language, which is why we're having the extraordinary spectacle of, in the kneecap trial, somebody who speaks English but chooses to pretend they're Irish, having an Irish Gaelic interpreter, a language which about 3.5 people actually speak. So an attack on the very notion of genuine nationhood and its replacement by vacuity, complete emptiness. British values are tolerance and diversity. That turns the world. Remember, England is the world's oldest nation, in the sense of its self-conscious awareness, the continuity of its political history, the stability of its population. I mean, all this nonsense about being a country of immigrants. More immigrants, proportionately and absolutely, have arrived in the last 30 years than in the last 12 centuries. I mean, let's just get that point absolutely clear. But what we did, we replaced this infinitely subtle notion, which was nevertheless binding, which touched, which involved, which embraced difference and separateness and yet held them together, with what, frankly, diversity and tolerance. It merely turns the Union Jack into a flag of convenience. It's just like, whoever, it's like the Liberian flag for badly maintained ships. And that's what we're seeing now, is an extremely complex series of reactions to this slow-burning disaster.